Greetings, YouTube. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to talk about a pleasant, happy, positive news piece coming out of Kansas, a notoriously conservative location that has often been in the forefront of discrimination. But I can today, and here's why. As my first official act as governor, I am reinstating protections to state employees who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. EO 2019-02 restores rights that are taken away in recent years. Discrimination of any kind is no place in Kansas and will not be tolerated. That is from Governor Laura Kelly, who has replaced Brownback, who was a notorious social conservative as well as in the pockets of the 1%. He did horrible things to the state of Kansas. I do not envy Governor Kelly's job in trying to reverse what Brownback did to that state. But it's good to see that one of her first official act is to restore human rights to humans. Who knew you could do that in America? It happens so rarely in recent years. It seems to be a whole lot of rolling back human rights and civil liberties for humans, which is ugly. And it's nice to see that there's a governor willing to fight for everyone in their state, making sure that everyone has protections under the law. Now, you often hear people talking about the fact that at some time in the 2040s, which I may actually live to see, that we are going to become a majority minority country. And what they mean by that is that there will no longer be any demographic which is above the 50% mark. White people will fall below that, probably into the 48, 45, something like that. But they'll still be the largest segment, but there will be no demographic which is the majority of the nation above the 50% mark. And there's a lot of white people that are really terrified of that. And the best thing you can do when you are looking at a future where you yourself are going to become a minority group is make sure that you have the absolutely strongest laws defending the rights of everyone. So that everyone, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, presentation, race, creed, color, religion, political, whatever you want to call it, is protected. And if you do that, when you yourself become a minority, you're covered. Done and dusted. You laid the groundwork to make sure that your future is secure. Things aren't working out quite that way in America at the moment. There's a lot of majority death throes going on, and they're making sure to make everybody suffer around them because they're terrified that they themselves are going to suffer. And why are the people that are currently in the majority terrified that they are going to suffer? Because they know that they have been making minority groups in America suffer for centuries. And they are afraid that all the minority groups that they have been hurting for all those decades and centuries are going to do the same to them. And that isn't necessarily true. Because progressive people don't want to hurt you. They want you to stop hurting other people. Even though I may despise social conservatism and the political agenda of the GOP and the policies they support and the vitriol and hatred spewed by the Red Caps, doesn't mean I want to hurt any of them. It means I want them to stop hurting other people. I despise the ideology they represent and the policies they support and the agendas they push. But I don't despise them. And the problem is that a lot of the time social conservatives in America despise you for who you are, what you are. Brown, gay, trans, non-Christian. Whereas progressives tend to despise what you're doing. There's a big difference there. And what this governor has done is reinstate human rights and civil liberties to the people in her state. So, kudos on Governor Kelly. That's the way you do it. You show the world that you can be inclusive and accepting and making sure that you are a defender of the people and not just one voice.